Good ass game. Good ass game. When people say that this is a bad game, and I've seen people saying that this is like, oh, hot take, this is a bad Zelda game. Like every time I see like a big YouTuber content creator saying something like that, where it's like, yo, this is a bad Zelda game, and they're known for new Nintendo stuff or whatever. I'm like, these are the same people, and not just Nintendo YouTubers, but like the people that parrot their opinions and people going into Breath of the Wild, going off of previous Zelda games like Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, all that shit. Going leading up to Breath of the Wild, they were literally complaining about the Zelda formula so much that it led to the creation of Skyward Sword and then Breath of the Wild, right? Because like by the time it got to the point of Twilight Princess, which everyone is now like retroactively revisionist saying like, oh, best Zelda game ever, best Zelda game ever. I love Twilight Princess, not even my top 5, right? There within the years that came after Twilight Princess, a lot of people were complaining, like, oh, Zelda's getting way too formulaic. Because I mean, it kind of was, right? From Ocarina of Time going into Wind Waker, going into Twilight Princess. All right, you beat dungeon blank blank and maybe blank, get the Master Sword, blank blank blank, Ganondorf, right? And then a lot of the puzzles when it comes to Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess specifically were very God, I'm brain farting. But like it took like a lot of the puzzles were samey, right? Like if you play a certain puzzle in Ocarina of Time and you see like the torches that all need to be lit in Twilight Princess, you know what to do, right? So with that being said, a lot of people were really like, complaining that was getting way too formulaic, right? And then Nintendo was like, okay, let's change things up. Skyward Sword, right? And then people complain about Skyward Sword because like, oh, it's way too linear and like, oh, the motion controls, blah 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 blah. We want some open world. We missed the whole aspect of exploring in Zelda, right? Because Skyward Sword is literally like, it was very Metroid-like, right? So when people, and then that's another thing, when people say that like, oh, I don't like Skyward Sword, and then they play Metroid, it's like, oh, I love Metroid. I'm like, bro, what? Like, so that's one. That's two. And then we get to Breath of the Wild, where Nintendo said time and time again, going into the game's release, like they made it no secret that open air adventure, seamless open world, you can go anywhere you want, and breaking down the conventions of Zelda. Breaking down the conventions of Zelda. But at the same time, it still retains its essence. It does. It really does. Right? So then people play Breath of the Wild and they're like, this isn't Zelda. And I'm like, it is a Zelda game. It took the next step of evolution. What, do you think like Zelda games were going to be Twilight Princess plus over and over again? No, of course not, right? Or otherwise the series will get stale as fuck. So, we get Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild was phenomenal. The highest selling Zelda game of all time, and one of Nintendo's highest selling games ever. So, like, people are like, oh, nah, Breath of the Wild sucks. Like, the reviews, the word of mouth, the sales all state otherwise, and then people are like, oh, just because the game sells well doesn't mean it's good. I'm like, it kind of leans in that direction though. It really does. People can hate on Minecraft all they want, but Minecraft is the highest selling game and it's fun, right? But people are like, Minecraft tubers and kids playing Minecraft. I'm like, bro, if you sit down and actually like appreciate Minecraft for what it is, that game is fun as fuck, especially with friends, right? So what I'm saying is that, if I'm saying anything at all, is that Breath of the Wild is not only a Zelda game, it's one of the best, if not the best. If you want to say it's the best and if it's your first, that's completely fine and valid, right? Right now, it's constantly at a battle of like, wits within my heart of what is the best Zelda game, Ocarina of Time or Breath of the Wild, right? Tears of the Kingdom might blow that up completely by the time it comes out, but, to say that Breath of the Wild is a bad Zelda game or not even a Zelda game or a bad game in general, you are a fool. That's like, case in point,